Good morning all, and welcome to this morning's 11 o'clock stream for Planetcraft. I know you're expecting Natalie. Natalie will be taking over shortly. She just asked me to do a little bit on some stencils that we've cut first. So, as you can see on the desk, these are all Natalie's original designs. These are all things that Natalie's created. And we've cut them out of mylar. We were hoping to have some fresh mylar here this morning, but it hasn't turned up just yet. So we are hoping that will turn up eventually.
Yeah, what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to show you how to set it up, and then as soon as the mylar arrives we can cut it on stream for you.
Yeah, so if it's here this afternoon we'll do a little bit this afternoon, if not we'll do it over the week when it does turn up. It is coming through the post, so it could be any time. So you can see these make great stencils. I'll just hold it up a little bit closer. Let me put something underneath that again, just so it's...
Firstly, hello Mary, hello Carol.
So you can see that a bit better. And it cuts out all the intricate bits really nicely. And you can use it as a stencil.
Hi Mum.
Morning Chris. So we have those ones. So we have some nice background ones as well, so if you just wanted a layered background, we have this one just done with hexagonals. So it makes a really nice background there. And we have some more spaced out circles on this one.
It's very overcast here at the moment. We have this one here, which is a bit more detail. Again, the mylar cuts beautifully on the ScanNCut. Any questions so far? Nope.
Can everybody see them okay on the white card?
Yeah. Can you just let us know if you can see everything okay? Apparently Carol has the sunshine.
Oh.
Give it back. It was lovely and sunny first thing to wake me up. But it's gone now. I should have got up about 7, I think.
Yeah. So we have another background one here, some hexagons. Another lovely one. Again, nice and easy to create these. And we'll show. I think Natalie's going to do some designing on the computer in a moment. And we have this one, which is another part of the other one that we already had. It's only parts of it, so you have like the Imagine and the 7 off the 27 off the other one. And we also have some paint dribbles and some extra bits that we've done. And again, just some texture bits that we can put in. And last but not least, we did a Valentine's one. So we can get this the right way up. So again, good for doing your Valentine's cards and other bits. So those are just a few examples of ones that Natalie has created over the years. We use a mylar. We used to get our mylar in a 12 by 24 sheet, didn't we?
Yes. But it's currently out of stock, but as soon as it does come back in, it's actually the best way of doing it. So what I'll do is I will set it up for doing a 12 by 24 sheet, so you can see how we
have some smaller ones on the way, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know what size they are, but they are smaller.
We have 6 by 12s coming.
6 by, that's right, yes, there was a 6-inch one.
So although we'll do 8 designs today, it'll only be 2 per sheet when it actually gets the vinyl. Vinyl? Mylar. You didn't correct me.
Just about. Okay, so I will pass you over to Natalie.
Okay. Give me a second, just let me hop over to Affinity. Okay.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'll pass you over to Natty and she'll take over from here. I'll be manning the comments from now on, so if there are any.
Okay. So I'm going to go into Finish Designer and I'm going to do a new file. And I'm going to do a 12 by 24. So if you don't already have your presets set up, it's a page width of 295.9 millimeters by a page height of 603 millimeters, a DPI of 96, and I've set my document units to millimeters for this one.
Are you staying on there for the rest of the stream?
Probably, yeah.
So I can put the iPad on to Zig and I'll put this one to Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Throw me now. Okay. So I go create. Now the reason I don't do it in inches is the next bit you'd be tempted to set the line at 6 and it's not going to be at 6. You just want to put it at halfway. Okay. So I'm just going to do a rectangle at the top just to get my centre point. Then I'm going to drag in a guide. Come on. There we go. I want it to snap to the middle. Okay, at which point we can just get rid of our shape. And then I'm going to do the same this side. So nice long rectangle. Go back to your arrow tool, or your move tool. Going to find our centre point. Okay. We're then going to shrink our box up to match this guide. And that gives us our measurement for our next one. So the idea being we're going to end up with 8 evenly spaced spaces. Now because we're aiming to do 6 by 6 masts, what you have to remember with this is you can't do edge to edge cutting with your machine. So basically what happens is when you take it into your canvas, there'll actually be a gap at this end and this end, and then when you cut it out you just got to use a pair of scissors just to snip these last few joins. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to take my path tool and I'm going to cut across to the middle. Okay, and let's put a bit of a bigger stroke on it so you can actually see it on screen for you. So like I always say, your stroke width doesn't actually could you just reply to Sarah for me on Discord? Thank you. It doesn't transfer to your machine, so we can just, and with this one we can cheat a bit. Okay, so we've got our first 3 cut lines. So again we want to repeat the same for the next section, so we're going to go to the middle, click off it, and it's important that you do that click off because otherwise when you come to draw this line it will join up. It still might do that anyway just because it thinks it's being clever, but hopefully most times it'll let you get away with it as long as you do that click off. So again, oh, I hate it when it does that. It's just my mouse being a bit dense. Hopefully yours isn't doing that. Or it shouldn't be. And then we're going to go down and off to the side. So there we have our individual designs. Now, in the comments, let me know what sort of stencils you would like to create. So we can do a repeating pattern one. We can do a text one, where we've got lots of different words in different fonts and directions. we could do some stripy ones, whether those are zigzag stripes, curly stripes, whatever. So let's hear your ideas. Don't be shy.
Sarah's now watching as well.
Okay.
And I've answered her on Discord.
Okay, so what sort of stencils?
Give them time, don't forget there's 30 seconds
Yeah.
between the two.
It's really hard to have the delay because then I feel like I'm kind of stalling.
Talk about something else.
Yep, okay. I'll talk about the other things that we can use our ScanNCut for in mixed media. So, as I was saying to Ian before we started, you can actually use your ScanNCut in lots of ways in mixed media. So stencils is actually just a fraction of what you can do. So for starters, you can do masking techniques using direct and indirect cutting. Okay. You can also do things like the direct cut straight to your page as well. So long as obviously it's not in a journal. So long as it's a loose sheet and you haven't piled it up too much with ephemera and chipboard pieces and whatnot, and you can still get it through your machine safely, then what you can actually do is foil onto it. You can draw patterns onto it. So one of the things I want to talk about in this stream is how we can create basic patterns to get you started. Okay. And then tomorrow's stream. Yes, thank you. Tomorrow's stream we're going to go a bit further into how we can create symbols to make patterns and so on and so forth. Okay.
Carol says curly designs.
Curly. Okay, we can do curly. So I'm going to go into my first panel. Ooh, not quite that far. Move my layers out of the way so we can see a bit clearer. It's a bit wide as well because I was doing other things with it. There we go. Same with this one, it's a bit wide. Pop it over there for a minute. So I'm going to go into my brush tool. Can you just write down 16 pixels for me?
16, I can remember that. 1/6.
Yeah. It's important.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe scrap paper is just so hard.
Right, so because we want to do nice smooth curves, don't be dense on me today. I'm going to go take this stabilizer up higher. I'm going to put my pressure on and I'm going to start. Let's go fairly big to start with. I'm going to go around. Oh, it's going to go on a dense one. Let's try that again, shall we? Don't do what you did to me yesterday.
Just crash.
Okay, so you'll see it will stabilise your line for you, and then your smoothing will actually then make that a smoother curve anyway. So you're getting like double barrel smoothing there. So because it's being a bit weird and trying to just edit that bit there. So like I said, with the handles of your nodes, you always want to try and keep it so they have an equal amount of space to that path. So I'm going to take that one there, that one there, bring this one down to here, and this one down there. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my brush again. And this time, let's take my brush size up a bit so you can see the difference. So going to start it down here. Okay, not happy with that. But that is the joy of it, is that you can just go, nope. Nope, don't like that either. Let's go back down. I can see what's wrong. Let's sort out my stroke. Reset. Without clicking on that. It's off, so I don't know what it's playing up at. Right, let's try again. It's a little bit bigger, but not too much. There we go. On.
We have Dawn watching as well. Morning, Dawn.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Oh. It's not quite in the right place, but I like that curve, so I can just move it to where I like. Okay. I'm going to go back over here. No. Struggling, bless it. Come on. And I want to do one that way. And let's do, I'm going to go into this one and I'm going to just swap my swatches round and take that stroke off. Hit Alt and we can drag a copy. It's going to use Shift and Alt so that we can just do it without a snap getting in the way. And again we'll go shrink that bit more. Okay, so with the brush strokes, these are still strokes. So if we were to send that to our machine at the moment, it would literally just cut straight through the middle of the line, which we don't want. So I want to go to there and expand stroke. Okay. And you'll notice you get a slight change, but we can always just do our usual trick of expanding the stroke width, and then I want it so that those two bits touch like that, a bit higher, there, expand stroke, and then we're going to go select all. Oh, not select all, because otherwise we're going to get our cut lines as well actually. So we'll do it with our move tool over the top and weld it into one shape. Okay, at this point, before we go any further, we want to do any amends that we want to do to our shape. So remember, as I said, you want to keep your number of nodes to a minimum. Because when we do that, first of all, our shape is nice and curved. And smooth. If you notice that you have square nodes and you have circular nodes. Circular nodes are the nice smooth ones. Square nodes have some form of kink in them. So what you ideally want with this type of design is for them to all be circular nodes.
Morning, Terry.
Morning. So we have a bit of a weird thing going on here, so we can just highlight those and just delete them. I'm just going to increase the arms on that bottom point and get rid of that square node there. Go back in here and just readjust this arm so we have a nice even curve. Our curve here is fine. Oh, this one's a bit weird. Let's take that out. Take that out. Okay, now around here I want this to be a nice even curve again. So I'm going to twist this arm here so it's a bit more parallel to this circle here. I'm going to tweak that slightly there so that we round it up this way a bit better. There we go. It's all in the details. And here we'll just take out these two square points and sort out the handles again. And it's just basically where it's picking up on the aftertouch on your pen when it does that. It's a bit annoying, but it's sortable. And this one here as well. Come on. Stop it. Thank you. Before I go any further, I'm going to save because it's having a right hissy fit at me.
I think we're going to have to find something else to run the streaming software. So you have just that running, just that.
Yeah.
Because
it's struggling.
Because it's running the streaming software in the background.
Yeah. I mean, what else is open? Mind you, somebody's left Photoshop open.
I haven't opened it.
Yeah, but if you didn't close it in the first place, even when you restart it, it opens it back up again.
I didn't realise it reopened it.
Oh, right now. Right. Let's see if that makes it a bit better. It's not fighting so hard then. Okay, so we now have our shape in one shape, and I'm going to go up to View, into Studio, I think, and Symbols. Okay.
Didn't have any questions this morning. It's all very quiet in the chat.
Hopefully they're either creating along or they're making lots of notes. Yeah, don't try and run Photoshop at the same time as the streaming software. So with your shape selected, you're going to click on the Create button, and that creates a symbol. Now this is really, really, really clever. So if we shrink this up, so just do it without pressing and holding Shift. Unless you think it needs a little bit of tweaking that way, be alright. Okay, so this is our original copy of our symbol, and it's changed in here to say symbol. Okay, we can then copy to our mat any number of instances of that same original. So see why I said make sure you do all your editing first. However, this gets really, 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 really clever in a minute.
Morning, Zena.
Morning, Zena. And if I just tweak this a little bit. So, if we go into our symbol and into our curve, this edits the shape. So if we then do this, can you see? It alters them all at once, which is why it's so clever. Okay. Then if we go back on symbol, we can move just one instance of it. Okay, so I'm going to take this little one out for a minute. And I'm going to shrink this up like so. So you can see everything gets altered at once. So when it's a edit that you want to do to everything, do it in here. If it's an edit you want to do to one, you can do it in there, or we can detach it. But for today, I'm not going to go into detaching. I'm just going to show you the basics of setting it up. So if we then drag in a few more, you'll start to see where this is going. So I'm going to pop that in round about there. Going to pop in another one here. Pop in another one round about there. So if I move that up so we can fit those two nicely in together, we can actually move them as a pair. And I'm going to rotate that one onto the 45 for a change.
Because they look a bit like peacocks.
They do, don't they? I quite like that. Okay, so this is a bit of an asymmetric frame, right?
There you go, you call it peacock swirl.
But if I take these back out, I'll show you what's really clever about symbols. Like, really, really, really clever.
You call it peacock swirls.
Yeah, peacock swirl sounds good to me. So I'm going to start off here. And I'm going to do another copy. And let's rotate it round that way a bit.
Morning, Sandra.
I'm going to take those two and rotate them around a bit more. A bit more than that. A bit more. Just want to try and get it so that we have a nice kind of swoosh. Okay, so to this I'm going to just bring it over, do a nice curvy swoosh. Now if we go back into any of the symbols, open it up so you can see the curve and click on the curve. Now if it's going to be really nicely behaved, I'm going to go and click on my little circle. Okay, and ideally you want to do this so you've got at least two in shot. So you can see that what you're doing is definitely being repeated. We're going to pop in a little black circle and see it's put it on every other single copy of that symbol. Okay, and we can do it on this one, and this one, and go bigger, and then and a little tiny one. So we've very quickly gone from having just a swooshy design to having a swooshy and dotty design, and it's done it all for us. Okay, and if you go, right, okay, I'm not happy with the curl on the dots, so down here we can do that again, and it will still edit every single one. And I'm going to bring these out here, and you can see then whether it's interfering with anything else, so if it's overlapping. And I might just pop a couple more. And a teeny tiny. You want to keep everything in odd numbers. Okay, so we've done our teeny tiny, but you can see it's clashing here. Okay, so you have two options. You can either move the symbol, or you can move the dot in that symbol. Okay, so in this instance, I'm just going to move this symbol there, and that one to there. And again, there's a bit going on here, but we'll sort that in a minute. And this one to there.
Morning, Dale.
So if you're finding you've got a bit of an oddity like that, you have two options. You could just go, well, it's only one and I'll fix it. Or if you want to be precise, you can just go back into your symbol. Hello. And just move it back in. And that a little bit more. You want to make sure that there's enough join between shapes for your stencil to be successful. Otherwise, if it's too flimsy, it won't be usable. And that'd be such a shame. Okay, so there's our first example of using symbols in a stencil. Next, I'm going to do a frame design. So something that repeats round in a circle. So what would you like me to do? We could even do the sun rays if you want to. Shall I go for sun rays, shall I?
Go for sun rays.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise you might get a suggestion of deck chairs.
Deck chairs in a circle. Won't work in a stencil anyway. But the sun rays will. So what I'll do before I go any further is I will just group those and call it a stencil 1.
Oh, yeah, then I call it the peacock swirl.
Oh, I can do. Peacock.
Go on then.
Swirls.
Is that for the deck chairs or for the sun ray? You read my mind.
Okay, I didn't want to do a new layer there, did I? No, you didn't that way. Okay. So moving on to our next panel, we're going to create just a boring rectangle. Okay. And to make your life easier, give it no border and make it pale grey. Okay. And you want to align this to hopefully the centre. Actually, if I just do this very quickly, just so I can get a true centre. It's important on this one. So I'm just going to drop it into the middle. Where'd you go? Come on. Down a bit. There. Right. So you want it to go to that centre point and to the centre point of your stencil. Okay. At this point, we're going to create a symbol. Okay. We're going to bring in that symbol and we're going to rotate it. Let's go for 15, and you're going to place it back so the centre point of that one is going to line up to the centre point of your page, which is always tricky. But pop yourself a guide in if you need to, just to get it aligned successfully. Okay. And do it so that you can see your symbols as well. So you've got your layers open, drag in another one, and we're going to rotate it to 30. Now the time you spent getting this bit right is invaluable.
Carson, you missed the part where you create a symbol. Can you repeat, please?
Okay, so very quickly, create a rectangle that measures more or less the top to the bottom of the top half, and you want it to line up so its centre point is at the centre of the crosshairs. Okay, when you've got that rectangle, click on Create, and that creates your new symbol.
Where do you find the symbol settings?
The symbol settings are in View, Studio and Symbols. Okay, if it's got a tick next to it already, it means it's hiding somewhere on your page. It's usually down towards the bottom right when you first open it. I will show you again quickly once I've finished doing all these. It's just easier to do them all at once. Okay, and don't forget, because our height will be different to this because you've got that cut off point, just leave it as it is for now. Okay, in actual fact that last one we don't need. Okay, so once you've got that far, and I'm holding shift by the way to go between the 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and then you could carry on round if you really wanted to, but I'm going to make my life a little bit easier and just select the ones I have done, pull over a copy, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. This really is the height of laziness. Okay. Drag over another copy. So that's just Alt and drag. Shift and rotate it round. Line up that centre point again. Okay, and last time, Alt, drag, Shift, rotate.
Once you've done half, could you have just selected the whole half?
You could have done, yeah. There we go. So hopefully you have something that looks like that. Hopefully. So very quickly, Carol, I'll just show you again over here. So you draw your rectangle, okay, do it in this tiny little corner of the map. Go to create, and that brings in the symbol. You can then drag extra instances of that symbol in. Okay. So hopefully you all have something like that. Can you just say yes before I go firing off into the distance?
Thumbs up, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
No, it's all a thumbs up.
Or thumbs up, sorry. I thought you said we already got one. I thought they're all being ultra efficient. So to do all that with the rotating and things, I did use the mouse because it's just easier for accurate placement. Whereas all the swirls were done with the graphics tablet.
We have one thumbs up. Just disappeared off the screen.
Okay. So open any symbol. So I'm going to go for this one just here.
Cassie, she's just watching for now as usual. I'm going to catch up later.
That's fine. That's fine. You can watch, make notes, and then go on and do something totally different. You know, you don't have to do sunrays or peacock swirls. You can do Anything really. If you want to just have the word birthday going round and round and round in a circle, you can do. Okay.
Could you do a texty one? So like this
Yeah, I will do a texty one in a bit. What, in a symbol? Or do you want your summaries?
No.
You want summaries?
No, you can finish your summaries first.
Okay. So, click on your rectangle inside your symbol. Go to your path tool. Come on, there we go. We're going to click. Actually, I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to choose a different one that's going to be much easier to do this. So I'm going to go for that original top rectangle. Just because I want to have that vertical line to work with. And let's give it a bit of... So we have a stroke that goes from more or less the top, and then we've left like a gap at the bottom. Okay, into that stroke for now we're going to put black. Okay, so you can now see that you can't see because the rectangle is getting in the way on most of the lines. So at this point we can delete out our rectangle or hide it. I find it easier to hide it because it's a good way of checking that nothing is shifted. Okay, then we're going to go into stroke, we're going to go into pressure, and we're going to hold Alt, and we're going to drag it down, and we'll do it on the right one, duh. There we go. So we've got a nice fine point in the middle. And then this one we can use to control our curve, while our top point is going to the full width of our line. So then to control that we can just alter our stroke width. Okay, and again this is one way you can see how the caps work. So at the moment we have a round cap, so that there's a round dot at the end of our line. So it extends beyond our path. If we wanted to, we could change it to a square one, or we can do a square end cap, which again goes beyond the line. But I think the circle one probably works best. So we can go, so it's really narrow, or we can go really bloated, or we can just put it in the middle and we have a nice straight line. Yeah. Okay.
Dale said I had a quick phone call and missed how you made the lines in the middle, but she will re-watch.
I made the
lines down the middle of your symbol, I think.
Alright, well I'm about to do another one anyway. So don't worry. Okay, so making sure that we're still in that curve layer, we're going to go back to our path tool, and you're going to click somewhere between this one and this one, but we're not going to go so far out. Okay, and you want it to be more or less halfway because it will be obvious. And we're going to go down to, not all the way down, because we want to, like I said before, you want to make sure you're building strength into your stencil. And boom. Okay. So you can now see why I put so many instances of that same symbol in, because I can do that with two paths and it just does it all for me. It's pretty, isn't it? I like it. So again, I'm going to click on the curve. Now bear in mind, the curve is here.
We should make it all just that little bit smaller because it's right on the edge of here.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll sort that in a minute.
Yeah, that's okay.
So very quickly, I'm going to pop in
You got a wow off, Carol.
some little circular dots. Now, if you're finding that your shape is going off, like we are, we can go into our path and very simply just drag it down, which is why I say go for the one that is easier to make sure which is straight. And we can go down to there, and we can take this circle in a bit. There we go. And you have a fun new stencil. Now if you go, oh, I think that's going to be a bit too intricate, you can go back in, press A, so we get to our node, and we can drag it back out. And that makes it look entirely different again. I like it like that, actually.
What you just, I can't see what you've just done.
Yeah, pop your head round.
If it's just doing it, so I shall see it in a moment.
I do like that. Okay, so next was to do a text one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
You make those two look so easy. I do like the peacock swirls.
the sunburst one is easy, and once you realise how easy it is, you'll be like, why wasn't I doing this sooner? So all the layering designs that we did for the 12 months of layering cards were done that exact same way with symbols. So I only ever had to draw one set and it did the rest for me. Nice and easy. Oh, I can't spell today. That should be you. There we go. And I will just let me delete that one.
That's so pretty.
It is pretty. I'm going to have to cut that one sooner rather than later. I might even cut that one out of some Sizzix masking stencil just to be able to use that one later. Okay, so text. Let's think. I'm going to go for something a bit different with this one. And I'm going to go.
You know what I mean by texty one, that it's like, so you cover your stencil with text, so it's not necessarily in different words, so you have like a newspaper sort of print background sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
I'm going to do something a bit funky though.
Yeah, no,
A bit funky.
I trust you too. I know you will.
Okay.
You're
So what I want to try and do. I'm going to create this as a symbol. I'm going to drag in this is where you're going to have to really think about which way around this is facing, because text it matters. To a certain extent, when you're doing it with the powder, you can get away with more. Okay, so if you find it's not quite square, just square it up. Okay.
I was asked, am I right in thinking that you have to have something drawn to use the symbol?
Yes.
I tried clicking
Yeah.
it before to see what it is, but was not able to use it, so yes.
Yeah, so basically you have to have a shape that starts that symbol, even if you then at a later point delete that first shape. As long as there's something else still in there, it's absolutely fine. Okay? So, for instance, if I enter in some text, and you want to be careful where you select, because you don't want to make it that it's a text box. So, I'm going to call it. It is, I just can't see it yet. Okay. and you can just sort out the font in a minute. Okay, and we'll pop that in there. Let's do it so at least they kind of just about overlap, and then we'll take our rectangle out. Okay, so at the moment we have it that it's kind of almost touching or overlapping in places, so we'll change our font first. What should we go for? Beloved, wasn't it, I liked the other day? Oh, Beloved Sans, I like that. Okay, so you can see now that because we've taken our font to a different font, it's stretched the sizes. So that's why I say it's always a good idea to keep your rectangle for a guide, so we can go, well actually that needs to shrink right back down to in here. And then we can take it back out again. Okay, I'm either going to take it down a little bit further, and I'm going to bring it across a bit. And you can see it's doing all this on the fly at once. And into the corner I'm going to draw a little circle. I'm just going to hold shift to keep it as a circle and fill it in black. There we go. So what I was doing then was just checking the alignment up here while I was actually working the shape over here, because it's a bit hard to actually see when you've got your shape selected. So we left ourselves quite a bit of space around there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a copy and I'm going to bring it in. If you hold shift, it will keep it straight down. So we can actually start to form like a tartan. I'm going to take another one. And another one. Make sure you're on the right one. And another one. Then I'm going to do, I know what I'm thinking. Ooh, I wonder if it's got one set up. Not like it, okay. I might want for tomorrow. So, I'm going to go back into my path tool and I want to pop in a line that goes from there to there. And I'm going to pop a black stroke on it. Now because it's still got our same stroke from before, first of all take down your width and then we can sort out the pressure. So maybe up just a little bit. I'm just going to go right in and sort this out. So you can see now that the line I'm working on has come out of our symbol. But don't panic if you do this. All you've got to do is click and drag and actually bring it inside that symbol and it pops it in. Okay. Then I'm going to duplicate that one. I'm going to press and hold shift while I've got my move tool selected, and we can pop it up top. And finally, I'm going to join the shape. So your pattern here then becomes, what's the word I'm looking for? A texture rather than text. Okay, so the next step in making this a stencil, because obviously at the moment this wouldn't work, we're going to select our symbols and we're going to go to detach. Now what this does is it converts it all into groups, okay, and at this point we could export it. We know this isn't going to work, so if we go undo and go back into our symbol, just because this is the height of laziness, this is, I want to convert all of these to paths.
So this is well, that's set my double vision to overload.
Yeah. At mine. So you'll see in a minute why I go, right, okay, we're going to have to... at this point, if we wanted to, we could get it to draw it, which is the easier option. So I might still take that texture out and do it with something simpler, because I can. But right now, I'm going to go into my outside text, because that I can't do different. And I'm going to take this stroke off, because I need to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to zoom right in. So if we were to cut that A out as normal, we'd lose the centre of our A. So I just want to ungroup that, because I need to work on it on individual letters. So Control Shift G or Command Shift G on my Mac. Now I want to get to that one and this character here. And if you just want to make sure it's all selected right, and then we can subtract. Okay. And if you're really clever, what you will have done first is copy that one, then do it. Oh, come on, computer. You can't be as slow as I am. Okay, so I'm going to paste it back in, move it down to the middle of this one, and shift and select and subtract. And we'll have to do the same with our O, but we'll have to actually do it both sides. So you want to make sure that your two rectangles are aligned at this point, otherwise you're going to end up with a bit of a funny looking O. And same here. So that one to that one. Da, da, da. Best wishes should all be alright. And then we've got some A's. So let's bring that down with me. Oh, come on, computer. Yeah, you can moan about my mouse battery. Just pick its moments.
I think your battery's dying.
Yep. Go away. And with your B, you're going to want to do it so it looks logical. So you could do it to the middle, or you could do it to one side of the upright bending. I think on this one, because I've gone to the middle and everything else, I think I'm going to have to go to the middle on there. The R's already done for me, so. Okay, so all they should be done. As I said, just to make it easy, I'm going to change the texture in this one.
Carol's not keen on this one, it makes it go squidgy-eyed.
That's okay, I'm going to take this one out, just because I want to. I'm going to change it to something else. But that's the joy of doing it in symbols, you can do it quickly. I can go, okay. And let's see if we can stop this from crossing over too much. This is being a bit dense at the moment, come on. Might have to turn the mouse off. Because it's just being...
Do you want to change the batteries in? Put some fresh batteries in.
It's having a dense moment now. So I'm just going to shorten that because I just want it to go up to that point there, and up to that point there. Oh, come on, pack it in. Okay. So it's this line over here that's slightly showing, so I'll put that in there too. There we go. So next I just need to join so we don't have that centre panel falling out, because we don't want that.
Yeah, it's got fresh batteries in. Do you want to try again? I'll turn it back on for you.
Hang on. Yeah, turn it back on here. Oh, come on. Right, get here, go there. I'm just going to extend this a bit bigger and copy it, because I'm going to want to use it a few times. And that line there is actually going to be this line over here, isn't it? So we just need to rotate that round. Zoom into it a bit, be sure it's into the right one, down there. Make sure you've got it copied, and make sure you go to layer, expand stroke before you do this next operation. Select the two, subtract. Okay. Okay, this end, across here. I'm going to get it as close to the middle as possible. And subtract. Then any other individual paths need to also be converted to shapes. Okay, doesn't help that it doesn't tell you on here if any of them haven't been done. But yeah, that's all looking fine. So I can weld those together into one. My lettering's all done. My circle is just a circle anyway. So that should be okay.
Oh, see leaking's just come on.
Okay. So we've got kind of Art Deco texty stencil going on. So as I said before, I'm gonna select all of those, detach, so they become groups. Gonna ungroup. Oh, shut up. Every single day.
Yeah, you didn't come yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's because it's got the thingy still hiding. Let's get rid of those rectangles.
Evening, Tracy. Just popped in.
Okay. Right, there we go. So we've got rid of our rectangles. Make sure we click on that bottom page. Press and hold shift, go up to the top. And hold it all together. There we go. And there we go, that's what I want. So I'm just holding Command and Shift, which keeps it all in proportion and from the centre. There we go. Next one. Lots of random text, you said. We can go to 12:30.
Sorry, Lou. It's just a thought, but it doesn't have to. That'd be quite a lot difficult to cut out, wouldn't it? Because it would.
Well, it'd be the same as the one that you showed, so the February one.
Mm.
So you just basically do the same technique, so you make sure there's always a join. Okay. And if you want to make those joins bigger, you can do.
And what about a simple, like a hexagonal one or something like you've done previously? So like a background.
Okay, like a...
Like you group of circles or you group of...
Do you mean hexagonal?
Well, yeah, because you've done a...
Do you mean honeycomb?
Yeah, you did like a honeycomb effect, didn't you?
Okay. The honeycomb basically works the same way as the sunburst one does, just it's a different repeating pattern. So with Affinity Designer, what you can do is actually set up your...
We're making stencils, so we're going to be, hopefully if some mylar turns up, cutting out the stencils out of mylar later in the week, next week, as the mylar turns up.
So I'm going to put it that way around just because, and before you go any further, convert it to curves just so it's a bit easy to line up, otherwise it's a bit random with that one. So with your shape selected, we're going to go to create, and we can just drag in. Come on, don't misbehave on me. I think we should call it a day in, because it's being a bit
Being a bit dense.
Yeah, can you hear it?
I can hear the fans going mental, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah. I think we may have to call it a day at that.
Okay. We'll try again at 2 o'clock.
What I'll do is, for 2 o'clock, I'll have popped up these onto group and also onto our Discord. So on the group page you'll be able to get the Affinity Designer version. On Discord I would do an Affinity and SVG version, so you can always import it into whatever software you use. Okay, so it's going to stop now. Naughty thing.
We'll come back to it later.
Yeah, we'll come back to it later because it's obviously just...
It's had enough for one day. It's overworked, underpaid.
Yeah, but basically you just go round with the symbol and then we can go back through and edit each one individually. Altogether.
So we'll be back at 2 o'clock, yes?
Yeah.
Where Natalie's doing some mixed media beginner's art journal. So if we can cut out the
stencil,
we will do.
We will do.
Don't understand Discord. It's just like a chat room, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically a chat room, but it's a chat room that also has video calling like built in. So at any time you can just video call whoever's actually in that same room. It's a bit like the old
Messenger chat sort of
yeah, like where you had chat rooms and things. So we have one that is just general chat. We have one for machine problems, one for canvas problems, and one for accessories.
Yeah. There you go. That answers Dale's question as well as what's Discord. Is there a link on the group?
Yes, there is, because I put it out earlier.
There you go. So
with the everlasting link. So yeah.
So people can join our Discord group if they want to on there. Apart from that, we'll leave you in peace to get some lunch, and don't forget to watch Pete at 12:30. It's his last giveaway for a couple of days. He's having a weekend off.
Don't blame him.
To recuperate, which I don't blame him at all. So it's his last feed for this week, I think, is the giveaway today. So be sure to catch that one because it's probably going to be a good one. And then we're back. You got Leslie at 1:30. Who's Chocolate Baroque, and we're back at 2, and I'm back at 7 o'clock tonight with a DX look around on the DX machines. Okay, and we look forward to seeing you all a little bit later. Okay.
Mm-hmm.